This is the Jimmy Anderson Show, the weekly report on Oregon State University basketball.
Hi everybody, I'm Bob Akamian along with the coach. Welcome to the Jimmy Anderson Show, where we talk Oregon State basketball every week. This is our last week of the season, so we'll be saying our goodbyes, make our all-conference selections, and we're going to talk about the last two games, some unfinished business with UCLA and Southern Cal. I know you want to send these seniors off and send this team off on a winning note this weekend.
Well, that would be great to be able to do that, because our seniors have been very important to our program. Mostly walk-ons, but valuable walk-ons. And then, of course, you've got to remember this, Bob, we have the best part of our program. That's Mustafa Hoff going to visit with us, and he's one of my very favorite.
That's right. The Chiefs, of course, has been out all season long with the back injury. He's going to be back in 1994 and 95. He'll be with us a little later on. We're going to start by showing you highlights of last weekend's games. A very tough trip down to Northern California against Stanford and Cal, and we'll go back to Thursday night. You know you're at Maples Pavilion when that tree is out loose on the floor, and it was a tough game with Stanford, made more so by the fact that the Cardinal shot the lights out, and they hadn't been shooting the ball well going into this game.
Well, we just have to get closer, and we have to put more pressure on. Our shooting has been in a slump also, but our defense hasn't been anything to brag about either. We are doing some things very well, but we still haven't really put complete games together like we need to. Here again, Bob, we got off to a horrible start, and then in the second half we played some very good basketball and actually outscored them by one in the second half.
We're looking at the second half highlights here. Deion Cross, of course, did it from the outside and the inside. There he gets the assist on the layup by Morgan. Here's David Drakeford. He came off the bench for 11 points, driving in for a layup, and also Stephon Brown. You found some openings in their defense in the second half.
Well, I think it was 48 or 49 points we scored in the second half, and we had some excellent individual play. We had some good moments at time, but overall, when you get behind on the road, you're going to dig yourself a hole. There's no question about it, and we did that.
Big man popping, going in for the slam there off the turnover. Now Steph and Brent Berry get together for two more, and of course Brent has to add to his yearly highlight reel, and he does it not once but twice. Some turnovers, and both time it's David Drakeford tapping the ball loose. This one, Brent goes in for the layup. The second time, same thing. Watch Drakeford with the tap.
Well, steals certainly help, and Brent is one of the better steal defensive players in the league. David Drakeford certainly did help in this game.
Tony Rockland, one of the three seniors we say goodbye to, drives for a layup here. The walk-on got a lot of PT in his 1 year as a walk-on at Oregon State. And number 10, another one of the seniors, Trent Inglesby, gets things started. Rockland helping out on the defense, and this time they find Bobby Edwards.
Trent, one of our seniors, we're all very proud of him. A walk-on guard. He has positive moments in every game that he's played in this year.
Eric Peterson, he gets his first basket of the year coming off the bench, but this one was all Stanford. 90-66, the final score. You look at the numbers, and the big one was Stanford shot the ball so well, 56%. And that wasn't all outside stuff. You talked about the defense, and they did have too many layups in this game.
Well, we had to go to the press, and they broke through our press and got some layups.
Brent had a nice all-around night, 19, 10, and 3 steals along the way as he continues to add to his Pac-10 totals. Good balance for Stanford. Deion Cross with 16 points. When we come back, we'll take a look at Game 2 of the weekend, a visit to the Oakland Coliseum, and the matchup with the California Golden Bears. The Jimmy Anderson Show will continue. Game 2 of the weekend, California at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Big crowd. Those have all become big games for the Bears now. And again, it's that first half start. I know you got to get off the schneid better at the start of games, and it gets frustrating when you fall behind like that.
You mean 1 for 19 to start out?
That would be the number we're talking
good
about.
Shooting. That's exactly what we did, and actually we were ahead and tied for a long time because neither team could make any baskets. And then all of a sudden they hit something, got a gap again, and then in the second half we played pretty well.
Let's pick up the highlights of this game, and you talk about the start because really you're controlling the pace. California's missing a lot of shots, and it's certainly the kind of game you need to be playing against them to give yourself a chance.
Well, not only that, we're playing a good enough half-court defense that they're turning the ball over. They try to force a pass. We get good weak side help. We're doing a lot of things very well, but we just can't put the ball in the hole.
See that happen not once but twice here. Cal forces it inside. Another turnover early on. The Bears also got in foul trouble early in this game. Brent Berry will hit on the next possession here. This was just back and forth early on. But go 4 minutes into the game, and it's 2-2. There's Brent with the Bieber basket. It's 2-2. Finally, Jason Kidd gets into the game, although that doesn't even make a difference right away. He's playing with the flu. And Cal gets going a little bit on the transition, but they're continuing to try to force the ball inside, and they pick up 5 fouls very quickly here, and Brent gets run over. Now again off a misguided pass, Steph will take it back, drive all the way, score 16-6 at this point, and from the 8-minute mark on in the first half, it becomes all Bears, and even though Jason Kidd's not feeling too well, he starts getting the job done.
Well, he could play half dead and he'd be pretty good.
I think he was half dead technically for that. He gets a second chance there. He'll make a nice pass here. Buckley had a nice game. Of course, Jason Meadham looked pretty good. That pass goes for 2. McQueen had some nice moments. Stewart, the big freshman, had a nice game. Here's McQueen coming in again off the turnover. Cal puts on the big run, and they get up by 27 at halftime. And I know you don't want to be thinking this, but you're thinking, are we going to get 10 points in the first half?
Well, we get 10 turnovers in the first half, and like I said, we were 1 for 19 to start. And if we're shooting that way, you're wondering how many points you're going to get at all. But we settle down in the second half. We make some shots. We never make a run of it, however.
And here to see some of the action here now from the second half. Lamont Murray, by the way, just before the half, he of course continues his fine run. David Brown gets up for a tip in, and now Steph again. He knows how to find the hoop, drives and draws the foul. Gets on the free throw line. We've got the Brent Berry highlight of the game coming up here this time. Brent goes for the trip to the slammer.
Well, we filled the lanes very nicely there. We had patience to let the third man fill it in, and that was Brent.
And then Bobby Edwards had the nice game. He had, I think, more family there than anyone else. They're sitting behind Darrell Awney. It sounded like he had half the stadium behind him. Bobby has a career-high 9. In fact, leads the team 74-44, the final score. Quick look at the team numbers, and shooting, of course, the big woe, and it was really worse than that for quite a while. Individually, again, Bobby with the 9 points, leading in individual scoring. Brent held to just 8. He had a rough night. Lamont Murray ends up leading a balanced Cal attack with his 18 points. So that's it for the road this year, and now you come home, and again, you're thinking about getting some work done against UCLA, a little chance to prove that the spread isn't as big as it was in the game in Los Angeles.
Well, you know, here again, Bob, and this may sound ridiculous, every game that we go into, we feel we have a good game plan and that we're going to win. There isn't one game that our players haven't thought that they're not going to go out and play a good game. They know the margin of error is very slight, but we have not gone into a game with a defeatist attitude, so we're going to do the same thing this weekend. We're going out there and we're going to try to upset the Bruins.
Now, the Bruins coming to town on Thursday night. They will start off the weekend. We'll talk about that down the road. Coming up next, we'll visit with some more of the Beaver bench as they wrap up their season. And with the Chief, Mustafa Hoff, will be in the house when the Jimmy Anderson Show continues. Well, now here's a guy we'd like to have seen in uniform all season long, and I know Mustafa Hoff would like to have been in uniform too. The would-be senior has sat out because of back problems early on, and I think one thing we need to know now is that the back is better, and you've been out working out lately.
Yeah, I've been playing 100%, practicing with the team, and it's been a lot of fun, you know, just running with them and playing as hard, trying to get them together, and my back is doing fine.
I was going to say, it's got to be hard to sit and watch this season because your position is certainly one where this team could have used the help.
Yeah, it's hard, but, you know, there's nothing much I can do. All I can do is just, you know, tell them to keep their heads up and, you know, and come and practice with a positive attitude. And, you know, it's been working, you know, it's been working a lot. And they've been playing hard in practice, and, you know, that's all I can do.
And you haven't stayed away either. I mean, you've been at LIC at practice all the time. You're at all the games. I mean, you've really remained part of this team.
Oh yeah, especially on the bench. I'm sitting there watching them play. I'm, you know, still yelling and telling them what to do. You know, haven't given up on this team, but you know, it's hard to just watch them play and knowing I can be out there and do the little things to help them win. You know, make them stay together, and you know, but it'll be a different story next year when I join the lineup.
I know you're looking forward to getting
Well,
Chief back, and also with Sonny Benjamin up front, J.D. Vetter. When you got some experience just waiting to play.
Well, I don't think people realize this, but when you take your captain away from your team, you lose a lot more than just a face. I made basically Chief our captain last spring, and he's a great leader. He works hard. He leads by example. He's our most physical player. But when you take your captain and tough guy away, he knows what he could be doing, and that's the tough part about it, because he knows that he could get rebounds, he could play tough post defense. Some of the areas were very weak. But next year, we hope to make it a very exciting year, and Chief's going to be the captain again, and he's the one that's going to have to lead us.
I know you could have probably tried to play hurt this year and not knowing how that would go. I mean, you got to feel better knowing you're going to have now one whole year where you're going to be injury-free and be able to go 100% from day one.
Yeah, that's true. Sitting out this year was quite an experience for me, and you know, I gained some weight, and I had little game things I have to work on, and I worked on it. And you know, first of all, I'd like to give special thanks to Todd Lewis, the guy that did my surgery, my doctor, and Sandy, and the coaching staff for all the support. You know, they've been there for me, and you know, and their advice from my doctor was to sit out this year, and because of the back surgery, you know, it wasn't something to really mess around with. And you know, and talked to Coach Anderson about it. He gave me an opportunity to sit out this year, and it helped me a lot. You know, I improved a lot on my game, and hopefully, you know, I can do something for this team next year.
I know we probably can't wait till November now.
Oh, I can't wait. You know, I can't wait till I'm ready. I'm ready to go. You know, so you know, just time. You know, and it helped me out to be a better person too, sitting out this year. You know, patient-wise, and you know, learn. Being with the new guys, you know, learning about them, you know, and their personality and all that stuff. So, you know, and it's been a lot of fun. Fortunately, we had a lot of injuries, you know, with Sonny Benjamin, and you know, he was one of the blue chippers coming in this year, and James McDonald's, you know, and he had knee surgery, and J.D. Vetter, you know, all those guys I think could have helped the Beavers a whole lot.
I mean, between those four right there, that's almost a starting five or four of the first six, something like that.
Well, that's for sure, because they're the ones with the most skill, and they're the most competitive. Some of the most competitive players we have. And Chief is the leader of this group, and I know from this spring and summer and early fall that we're going to be very, very ready for next season.
I know watching you on the bench too, you almost picked up a technical during a game this year. You started acting like a coach on there.
Not really.
No, not like a coach, but you know, I was just into the game, and I think it was against Oregon. And I was just into the game. I was just trying to get my players, you know, more just hyped up.
Your players. That's right.
Yeah.
He's like a coach. He is a coach.
Yeah, he knows what it takes.
It's been quite an experience for me, though.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back in the uniform next year and continued success in your rehab.
Thank you.
All right, Mustafa Hoff with us this week. Now it's time to visit with some of the other guys who haven't maybe seen the limelight this year, as we visit with the remaining Beavers who saw action in the 1994 season. Trent Inglesby is the one walk-on graduating this year. The senior transferred into OSU from Mount Hood Community College 2 years ago and has been a regular on the Beaver squad ever since. Trent made his way into the highlight reel several times this year with steals and breakaway baskets.
Yeah, it's fun to have something that you can be able to look back on and see that you were actually out there playing a little bit in the Pac-10, and just something I'll keep and cherish for a while.
Tell me about graduating now this year. Where do you go from here? What's the degree going to be in?
I'm going to get a degree in mechanical engineering, and from here I just hopefully look for a job this summer. It's a little scary knowing you're not going to go back to school in the fall and you have to worry about life after college, but maybe take a couple weeks off, maybe a couple months even. Not a whole lot of pressure from home to get a job right away, so take my time and search the Portland area, try to stay in the Northwest.
One of this year's walk-on freshmen is Eric Peterson out of Madras. He's a Beaver legacy, the son of former OSU legend Loy Peterson.
It started way back in grade school, and I picked up the game in grade school, and ever since then, he's never pushed me to continue it. He's always supported me in whatever I did. And when this opportunity came about, of course I took advantage of it, or tried to.
You got in the scorebook against California, got that first hoop of the year. That had to be fun, even though it was at the end of a game.
Yeah, it was. It was fun to get in there and mess it up with the boys from the Pac-10, and yeah, I had fun.
Another one of the walk-ons, redshirt freshman Bobby Edwards, had a big weekend down in the Bay Area. Playing in front of family and friends, he scored a season-high 9 points Saturday against California.
It was really nice to have my family came up, my mom and dad and my sister brought some of her friends, and some of my friends were there. Got to come up. It was really interesting. Got to see them. Got to see me play. It was nice. It was really a lot of fun. Hear him rooting for me and stuff. It was a good thing. And also, I got a chance to start that game, and that was neat. I saw my dad. He was smiling. He was proud to see my name be announced over the intercom, and it was neat. It was really, I liked it a lot.
You almost would have rather played that game though in Harmon Arena because you'd been there so many times growing up.
Oh yeah, my dad had taken me to many games there. That's the Harmon Arena was the first place I got AC Green's autograph. I'd seen 1,000 games there. I saw Gary Payton play there. I saw the cake thrown on Mr. Payton from the California Bear. There's a big controversy. And I was just sitting a couple rows up, and it was weird. We got to practice there that day, and it was really interesting to actually look up in the stands and say, I've sat there so many times and watched Oregon State play here, and now I'm actually on the floor playing wearing an Oregon State jersey. So that was really nice. It was really kind of meant something to me.
Brandon Peterson was another Bay Area native playing in front of the home folks this past week. The redshirt freshman from Monterey, California, is one of the better students on the OSU squad, maintaining a 3.8 GPA as he pursues his degree in business.
Yeah, I'm majoring in business right now, and spring term I got a 3.8, and last term I only got 2.7 when we were in conditioning and everything. I took 18 credits, tried to see what I could do with that, and that was a little bit beyond me. But I take a lot of pride in my school, and I realize, I'm here to play basketball, but also to get a college degree, and I want to be able to do something when I'm done playing basketball. Never know when that happens. I mean, I got a little injury this weekend, but could have been something a lot more, and you never know. So I really just take a lot of pride in school, and with business, I'm not sure where exactly I'm even going with that right now. I would like to have that background, so no matter what I do, I can take care of whatever money I make.
Interesting group there. And you look at the seniors, you lose David Brown, Trent Inglesby, and Tony Rockland, 3 of those hard-working guys on the bench. And I guess it's good news, bad news. You lose guys you really like, but you don't necessarily lose from what's going to be the core of the team next year.
Well, I think that's true. And as long as we all get better as players, and that's the main thing, because the core right now, we've lost a lot of games, but we've gained a lot of experience. So as long as they gain experience and learn more and add more to their repertoire of basketball skills, their attitude continues to improve, then we have a good core to go with. And with Mustafa, all the injured people coming back, we should be a much better team.
Just ahead, we'll take a look at the final 2 games of the season, a preview of the Bruins and the Trojans when the Jimmy Anderson Show continues. Well, the remaining bit of business for the Beavers is UCLA and Southern Cal this weekend. The Bruins are up first on Thursday night, and Rich Wold is here with us now to preview the UCLA game a bit. One of the offenses the Bruins will work with is something that goes way back to when the coach, John Wooden, was guiding the team.
Well, they've run this set for many years. They like to square up the guards, and in this particular case, they're going with Cameron Dollar. It could be Tyus Edney. He's going to reverse the ball to Sean Tarver, who then hits Zedek on the wing. And their first option is Tarver running off of the high pick here and looking for a quick one. Seldom is that available. What usually happens is they reverse the ball back to the guard, Dollar, and then they like to run a little two-man game with Ed O'Bannon on the low block, or he can come up and set a high pick. In the scene, you'll see SC does a terrific job of defending this. Their last option is bringing Tarver then off of the double pick by Dempsey and Zedek.
The Bruins 20-5 right now. Are they struggling or are they not? They lose to Southern Cal on Thursday night but come back with an impressive win on national television against Louisville, and that's got to help their position as we look at postseason. Southern Cal still a winning record in the NIT hunt, but in many ways a disappointment in conference play this year. Georgia has a very athletic team, and they had a real stretch where they were just clunkers offensively, could not get the job done. But let's go back to that game on Thursday night where UCLA got sucked into their game. Question is UCLA considered to be sliding right now? Are they losing their position in the regional?
Well, I don't think so. I think they're losing to some good teams, and they're probably a little nervous because anytime UCLA loses, there's a lot of critics that start nodding their heads around here that's saying, hey, what's the matter with the Bruins? I think they're a fine team. Their win against Louisville certainly gives them momentum and gives them a feel that they're back on track, and that's positive thinking. That's positive strokes, so all of a sudden I think they're back on a roll.
I think so too. Very impressive in the second half against Louisville. The big man Zedek getting involved quite a bit. If they can get even more muscle in the middle, they're aggressive enough offensively, they could be a real force in the tournament.
Well, there's no question about it because they have some great athletes, and Zedek is 7 foot and he goes about 275, so he's a big body and he takes up a lot of space, and he has a fine touch on the inside game.
All right, it's obvious that it looks like three teams have the inside track on going to postseason. The Bruins, Arizona has to have moved up enough now, but they're a number 2, maybe a number 1 seed.
Well, I think that debate's going to go on for the next week or so before they really find out who's going to be where. And there could be some upsets along the way to definitely make that decision a lot easier for the committee. But I'm thinking with Arizona's win over Michigan, our tough conference race, that they should be number 1 on the West Coast.
Let's talk about our picks for all conference. Now, we already disagree on who the most valuable player is. We both like Arizona guards, but you go with Khalid Reeves. I'm a big Damon Stoudemire man.
Well, I go with Reeves because he's damaged us pretty badly. I mean, he put some dents in the armor that you can't believe, with averaging like 32 points, 33 points a game against us. So he's the man I'm going to pick as the player of the year in the Pac-10.
And I like Damon, I think, because he has done so much for Arizona this year, and things away from the ball, obviously the way he handles it, his defense. I say without Damon Stoudemire, they're maybe in 3rd place right now.
Well, that could be true, but when you're talking about other guards in the league, see, Edney and Stoudemire are quite even in my estimation. Okay. And a lot of people would say we're both wacky, that Jason Kidd.
Don't forget Jason.
Yeah, they're going to pick Jason as the player.
In fact, and you almost have to pick him because he's probably leaving after this year.
Right.
We'll get to see him again.
So I'm doing it on the merits of what they did against our team,
okay.
And I think Reeves, without a doubt, I'm going to vote for him as the Pac-10 Player of the Year.
You could almost pick 5 guards, too, for your all-Pac-10
Very
team. You throw in Steven Smith with his offensive abilities.
Yeah, look what he did to us on those three-pointers.
Keep those guards away.
Yeah.
Big man up front. I really like Mario Bennett. I know he didn't have the fantastic year, but he's so physical. Physically, he's got to be the best big man around.
Well, I'm going to agree with you on that because here again, he had great games against us. In fact, his shooting percentage against us was something like 22 out of 25. I mean, it was almost fantastic. So we're going to give him the nod at center.
Now, we tend to agree on Williams and Murray, of course, up on front. Mike Montgomery, our Coach of the Year. Well, we have a minute left here now. This is your time now for the coach. It's our last show. How do you look back at this season? It's obviously not what you wanted, not what you expected going in.
Well, not what I completely expected, but I knew we were going to have problems as soon as we had the injuries because of youth and physical strength. It's a growing year. I guess you could compare it to a garden. You got to hoe and plant and get everything ready, and next year we hope to reap the benefits.
And you look forward to getting these guys back in and doing something with them next year.
We had growing pains, and we had to pick a lot of weeds out, so to speak, and get things in right perspective. And now I think with everything intact that we should have a good year next year.
All right. Good to work with you again this
Thank
year.
you, Bob.
Thanks for
Same.
joining us, all of you. We'll wrap up this basketball season on the next edition of Beaver Territory at the end of March. Check your local listings for times and stations.